Hey, welcome to the NFBC Minute. I have the privilege of preaching this Sunday at the church, and I just wanted to take a little bit to just give you a preview of the message. I'm going to be looking at 1 Kings chapter 19, and we're going to be looking at Elijah. Elijah's story arc runs from 1 Kings 17 through 19. And in 19, Elijah's kind of having a bad day. In fact, I'm going to call the sermon Elijah's Day Off. And just to give you a little bit of the background, can't get too into it, Elijah had a really good day in chapter 18. He was a prophet of God, a prophet of the God of Israel, and he was a worker of miracles, and God showed up in a dramatic way before the nation in chapter 18. At this time, the nation of Israel was not following God rightly. They were worshiping God, but they were also compromising and worshiping a god named Baal. So Elijah was hoping after this great event that there would be a huge revival and that everyone would come back to God, to the God of Israel. And that was kind of starting to happen, but something happened that really discouraged Elijah. See, the king of Israel's wife, the queen, Jezebel, was a worshiper of Baal. And despite what happened, she wasn't moved, and she threatened to kill Elijah. And so, long story short, I'm just giving you the preview now. Elijah basically runs away and goes to a cave, and he kind of gets into a bit of a depression. He kind of sulks in his disappointment. Have you ever been there? Have you ever seen God move in such a way to move in your life or to move in the lives of someone you know, and he just works things out in his providence in such amazing ways, and people are still not believing? People are still giving excuses and reasons not to believe. And that can be discouraging, right? Because after God shows up in undeniable ways, after he works in our life and changes our life so much, when people just attribute things to luck or good chance, or even they're right out hostile to us, as Jezebel was to Elijah, we can get easily discouraged. And I think that's kind of what was going on with Elijah. Yeah, I think he was afraid of Jezebel's threat, but I think Jezebel's whole point, I think if she wanted to kill him, she'd probably not give him a warning. I think she wanted him to run away because she didn't want this revival to happen. Despite the undeniable evidence, despite the miracles that God was doing in Israel, she wanted to continue in her false way. It's kind of like the Pharisees in Jesus' day. Jesus was doing all those miracles, but they wanted to maintain control over the nation. So Elijah got down. So what we're going to look at in Sunday in 1 Kings 19 is we're going to look at what was it that caused Elijah to be so afraid and so discouraged. We're going to look at that. And then we're going to look at how God comforts him, how God encourages, and how God gets him back on his feet, reaffirms his call, and gets Elijah out there again. And we're going to look at the legacy that Elijah had. Elijah was a great man of God. God used him mightily, but he was a man, and he had failures. And we can actually take a lot of comfort in that too, as if a man such as Elijah could have, a man of prayer, a man of miracles, a man of faith, could have such failures. It's a comfort to us too when we miss the mark. And God, if we're humble and we're repentant and we want to come to him, God always provides a way for us to be restored for him. And we know from the full revelation of God that the greatest one of all, Jesus Christ, would die for all our sins so we could be forgiven. So join us this Sunday as we look at this story of Elijah. There's a lot to learn from this story, and there's a lot we can apply to our lives. So with that being said, we hope to see you on Sunday, and we will see you next minute.